Mm. Do you ever find yourself craving chocolate or like something sweet right before your period? And then you try and fight the craving, but it just never works. Well, it's not just in your head. Your body is trying to tell you something. So 3 days ago, I was feeling my emotions so deeply, right down to my core. Like I just felt like I was in the depths of it, feeling all the feels. Then the next day I woke up and I was clear-minded, thinking straight, able to think rationally, feeling like quite optimistic and motivated. And then I got my period and I was like, And it just made me realize, or reminded me, that the female body is actually phenomenal. We all know that our hormones change and fluctuate throughout the month. And this is what creates the female cycle. In this phase before the period starts, progesterone rises, which is what creates some of these symptoms that PMS is typically like known for. Some of the things that we could experience is mood changes, fatigue, digestive issues, poor sleep, a little bit more irritable potentially. Super interesting fact is that this time of the month when progesterone is higher, the female body is actually a little bit more insulin resistant than normal, which means blood sugar will be a little bit higher than normal. This also explains why some people will say that they're craving carbs or just really want some chocolate. The chocolate craving might not be as random as you think. Cacao is super rich in magnesium and our magnesium levels go down during this time of the month. But magnesium is really important for sleep, mood regulation. When this drops, it can contribute to some of the symptoms that we do experience during this time of the month. So if you look at it this way, cravings are just our bodies trying to tell us something. And once we learn to work with our bodies rather than against them, our lives become so much easier. And we can do this by giving our bodies what they need in a nourishing way, which is why I love these period gummies. Ingredients, hormone supportive, and really easy to make. For the ingredients, we've just got cacao. Obviously that's going to help satisfy the chocolate craving if that's something that you experience, but also a great source of magnesium, which will help with the mood and the sleep and the cramp. And then I just use coconut cream because it's such a good source of healthy fats, which is hormone supportive, and it tastes really yummy and just helps to keep that blood sugar stable and you feeling full. And grass-fed gelatin, which is great for gut health, skin, joint health, but it also supports GABA, which is a calming neurotransmitter, which some of us, myself included, might need during this time of the month. Just that little bit of extra support never goes astray. And then for sweetness, it's completely up to you. I prefer monk fruit sweetener because it doesn't have a big impact on the blood sugar. I see a lot of people use honey in their recipes, but just remember that honey does contain fructose and it will impact your blood sugar. So if you know what your goals are in terms of your own health, then you can choose whichever one is best for you. I also add some collagen just because I think it's a good little way to a little bit of extra protein in. One other thing that I add is my all-time favorite supplement, which for you, I've got no affiliation with this company at all, but I just really love this supplement. So I was on the pill for 12 years, and then when I first came off it a few years ago, it took me over a year to get my period back. And when I did first get my period back, I had a lot of these common symptoms and I really struggled. But since taking Nourish for You consistently, it has made such a massive difference and I hardly get any of the negative symptoms anymore. My actual period is a breeze. I don't have the terrible pain that I used to have, which is why I added to the gummies and why I share it, because it's absolutely fantastic. So let me show you how easy these gummies are to make. Just start by blooming the gelatin. So just add 3.5 tablespoons of gelatin to 1/2 cup of cold water. Add the coconut cream to the saucepan and add 3 tablespoons of cacao. Then you add 1/2 cup of collagen. This is optional, but it makes it so yummy and creamy and great for extra protein. Just mix it really well over low heat and add sweetener of choice. Then you add the bloomed gelatin. As you can see, it's quite hard and lumpy. So just mix it in really well. I just like to blend it to make sure there's no little lumps that have been left behind. And this is where I add the optional but highly recommended foraged. Then you just pour into your ice trays or your little molds, or you can just pour into a lined baking tray and cut them up as they set.
Then place them in the fridge for a few hours and they'll be delicious and creamy. I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe.